This is Transformers96 here with another review. This time it is of the Hot Toys Spider-Man 3 black suited Spider-Man figure. So yes, of course a fairly old figure. I think it came out like 2 years ago, something like that. I'm not 100% sure, but I just got him now. Basically, I ordered the Mandarin figure. That came from Sideshow. I ordered it from Sideshow, and it came with a coupon that had a code on it to get $20 off just anything. So this is what I decided to use that for, because it looked really cool. It was actually Toys 210 who brought it to my attention that this figure would be kind of cool to buy that to use my $20 for, and I was like, I really gotta get used to the idea quite fast, and then I was like, I'm gonna get it, so I did. So very happy about it, and yeah. So here's my review. Of course, here's the box. The texture is very cool. The spider is all completely textured, which is really nice. But all the individual little like honeycomb effect, it's all actual texture on the box. Very nice box. It's a fairly large box, not huge, but it's a fairly large box because of the large base that you get with him. And yeah, overall, really do like the box. And let's go over the figure. So here's the figure out of package, but before we go into the figure, let's go over his accessories. So overall, you get 5 pairs of hands. You get 2 fists, 2 hands for holding the webs, 2 relaxed palms, 2 web shooting hands, and then 2 open hands, which I have on the figure right now. So as you can see, just with each of these, really good sculpt. As you can see, the webbing, as well as that honeycomb pattern throughout it. Really nicely done. I absolutely do love the actual sculpt. Definitely a lot of sculpting went on to each and every one of these hands, which is very nice, as well as you get a completely wide range of hands. I couldn't have asked for anything else. I mean, I actually, thought about it. I always think about what other hands I would have liked the figure to come with, and I really can't come up with anything, unless you do some, like, ridiculous hands. These are all the hands that you could want nor need. So overall, really do like the range of hands that he comes with, and you get everything that you need. He does, of course, come with a standard Hot Toys base that we get with basically all the figures. As you can see, Spider-Man 3 is the logo right there. On the nameplate it says Spider-Man and then black suit. And then of course you get the adjustable cradle. Very nice, and definitely fantastic that you get it, because if you don't want to display him on the Sandman base, this is perfect. Or if you want to have him displayed on the Sandman base but then make a custom Peter Parker, this is also a great base to put him on. So overall, really do like that, and it's nice to get this, because they didn't have to give it to you, since technically they've already given you a base, so it's nice to get this as well. You also get quite a wide range of webs that you can interact with his hands. You get 2 just like bottom of webs, which go on the bottom of his hand, which I'll show you in a second here. You get 2 just webs that he shoots that are really just for like hitting people, I guess. They're kind of rounded at the edge, so they're supposed to like hit people. You get 1 web that's shooting that's supposed to like stick onto something or someone, and then you get 2 just really long pieces of web that you put on the top of the hand to get him to look like he's, attached the web to something and he's swinging. So let me give you an example of what it looks like when he's like got the web attached to something. So here's how it looks to get him to like hold a web like he's holding onto it. Very cool. It actually looks really nice. It's hard to like get him in a pose where it looks like he's swinging though, but overall the way that it fits in his hand and everything is really well done. I love how the end kind of swirls, and you do get 2 of them. So if you do want him to be holding 2 at the same time, you can totally do that. And overall, very neat. Really do love that look, and really quite really well done. I wouldn't have expected it. I would have just expected, shooting webs, but this is quite nice, and I really do like it. You also get 2 heads with this guy. Here's the Peter Parker head. As you can see, looks great, and it isn't just a regular Peter Parker. It is actually the kind of not quite emo, but an angry Parker, which is very cool. As you can see, the sculpt is actually really nice. I wasn't expecting a good sculpt. Because this guy's kind of old, I expected it to be a substandard head nowadays, but this is actually a really good sculpt. The hair's done quite nicely, but the face is actually really well done. It's not a dead ringer, but I do think it's great. I absolutely think that it's a very good head sculpt, especially considering it came out years ago. So overall, really awesome. As you can probably tell, I do have a custom Peter Parker now. I bought this body as well as these clothes for an Electro custom, because I'm hoping that Hot Toys makes an Electro, but I'm hoping that they make Electro in his kind of skin tight bodysuit that he's going to wear at the end of the movie. And then, you know, if they do that, then I'd buy another Electro head, and I'd use some of the spare hands, and I put him onto this to have Electro like when he's in the hoodie and everything, and they fight in Times Square. So that's why I bought all these clothes and everything. But for the time being, and as long as they never make Electro, I'm happy to leave it as a Peter Parker. I think it looks really good. If, you know, they had a nice happy Peter Parker face, then this might not work, the whole hoodie and everything. But with the kind of evil Peter Parker, I do think that this looks really cool. Get him in some creepy poses. I will say this is just insane articulation on this head too. I mean, it really just does whatever. So overall, that's kind of neat. But overall, the face sculpt is great, I have to say, and I am very happy with my custom Peter Parker. And you know, it's very easy to do a custom figure just with this head sculpt. So overall, this is great. Oh, the hoodie, jeans, and shoes are from the Tony Stark Mechanic figure. Which I did purchase just these clothes from. So yeah, so overall a great accessory, the whole different head. Something that's not necessary, but I'm so glad they did. The only thing that I heard was when you're trying to switch out the head with Parker and the Spider-Man, when you like pop off the Spider-Man head, it kind of like pops off the neck joint too, and then it's really hard to get back in place. I don't know about that though, because I've never tried it, because, you know, I want him just as this. I don't want to have the Peter Parker head on the Spider-Man, so I'm not quite sure if that's true or if that's for everybody, but I did hear that it is quite difficult to get to switch out the head, so take that as you will, and you can try it if you want to. But overall, really do love this second head sculpt. And when you buy this figure, you basically get an entire nether figure, this huge diorama base, which is, of course, Sandman. So cool. Definitely one of the reasons I wanted to get this. And this is just really awesome that they were able to include this in this set. As you can see, the face sculpt looks awesome. He's, you know, of course, just kind of yelling, jumping out of the ground almost. And as you can see, the actual, like, the way it cuts off, very cool. It's huge as well. As you can see, it's strange that there's like an indentation on his neck. It's almost like they intended this to come in a separate piece, or intended this to actually move. I don't know what it is, why it's kind of cut off like that, but it is. Oh, maybe it's actually supposed to be like the shirt. That's probably what it is. It's supposed to be like the shirt collar, which is kind of neat, so I do kind of like that. The mouth goes in very deep, which is kind of cool, gives it that really creepy look. Same thing with the eyes. They go in quite far, and he's got this huge hand, which is so cool, and a big fist. And it's very hard to get the arm in the body, just because there's no real way to do it, and it doesn't like pop or anything when you get it in. You just have to push it enough that where you're like, I think that's in. So yeah, so that's kind of disappointing. But overall, the texture in the sand is quite spectacular, extremely lifelike, and really looks great. The only thing is, he is kind of lighter than you'd expect. You know, he's kind of made out of a cheaper type of plastic than like the actual figure, but overall that's fine. It also kind of goes darker at the edges here, almost like it's turning into mud, which I think is so cool. Just overall an extremely amazing base. When you turn it around, he does have a hole right there, and that's so that you can put in this kind of like fight stand. And although he does have like a big pole sticking out of him now, he does have the fight stand, and you can pose Parker or Spider-Man on him, which is neat. Sorry about that, that was quite loud. I did intend to keep Spider-Man on him like that, but I noticed that it really didn't stay in too well, and it was hard to get Spider-Man staying on it and being quite stable, and it was too big for where I wanted to put him, so I decided not to do that. So I am just displaying this Sandman base on its own, and it looks great. It's, you know, some bases that come with figures, and you're like, oh, it looks so cool, but I don't want him to actually be standing on it, and you really can't display it then, because then it just looks odd. But this is almost like a separate character, so if you just want this on its own, on the base, on your display, I mean, it looks really good, believe it or not. So you can totally just keep this there as like a display piece itself. You don't have to have it as a base. You don't have to have Spider-Man interacting with it at all, and it'll still look great. So I'm very, very happy about that. This is an incredible, amazing accessory. Really do love love it. And it's quite large. Here it is with Spider-Man, as you can see. Up to the fist, it's about as tall as Spider-Man, and then of course it's quite wide and everything, and just tons of expression in the face too. Wonderful display base, and absolutely fantastic. So now onto the figure itself. As you can see, here's the Spider-Man head. It looks really great. It absolutely does. Love the eyes. Gives you a really nice look. Very shiny as well, and then the whole webbing in the head is great. There is just like a couple smidges of silver on the black part on mine, which is a little annoying, but is barely noticeable at all. So don't really mind it, but still it's there. Overall, looks great. They'll love that honeycomb effect and all these webbing and everything. It's all actually on there. I mean, it's all sculpted beautifully. You can feel the texture. It just looks great. And then you've got an awesome spider symbol, like it's half Spider-Man symbol, half Venom symbol, which is just so cool, and absolutely love it. And as you continue, this amazing detail all the way down. Now the only thing that I don't like about the costume, and this might just be on mine, is that over here it's very skin tight and it just looks good. Over here it seems like it's a bit longer because it does bunch up a little bit at the wrist, which it really doesn't over here at all, and it does bunch up a little bit at the elbow, and over here it doesn't. So I don't know what's with that, if there's more material over here, or maybe I just have it up further over here while here it's down further. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to mess with the outfit a little bit to try to straighten that out, but it really doesn't look bad. I mean, you probably wouldn't have even noticed if I didn't point it out. So overall, not a big deal or anything, just something that I did notice. Let's go down a little bit further on the costume. Alright, so here's his thighs. So when I saw reviews and pictures of this before I actually got it, the thighs just looked so huge to me. I thought they looked ridiculous. But getting it in person, it really actually doesn't look bad. It looks kind of good, actually. It really just kind of fits the character. I don't know why, but it doesn't bother me in the slightest. So that's very nice. You go down to his feet, as you can see, they look really good. You've got that same pattern, the same webbing. It does kind of bunch up a little bit at the ankles, but that gives you room and clearance to actually move the ankles around and do some fun stuff. So overall, really do like that. Overall, this suit itself is stitched beautifully and designed just so fantastic. I really can't say anything better about it, and it's quite beautiful. Absolutely, I think it's wonderful. And even the hands being plastic and not actual material, they fit right in. You don't even notice it. So overall, that is great, and the suit's absolutely amazing. So the overall articulation is really good on this guy, and this was something that I was quite surprised in before I got him, was that that the articulation is great. I really expected it to be hindered, or even if it wasn't hindered, I wouldn't want to stress the suit or anything, so I wouldn't be posing him very much, but the suit just feels like you can really do a lot with him and you're not going to hurt him, which is so cool and is so nice, very awesome to get, and really happy about that. He's got great articulation, the standard true type body, it seems like. The waist and the upper torso is the only thing that seems to be a bit hindered, but not too much. Everything else is in complete, excellent articulation, and you can get him in really cool poses, and I'm not just saying cool poses for Hot Toys, I'm saying just really cool poses, period, and that's really special for Hot Toys, because some of them are really quite hindered. Not this guy, really great articulation, but at the same time he maintains that awesome look. They didn't sacrifice the look for good articulation. They got the great look and they got the great articulation all in one, which is fantastic. So overall, I have to say I really do love this, not just this figure, but this set as a whole. You really do get quite a lot with them, and I'm really quite impressed with it, as well as the source material of the movie. I actually really do like. I know that a lot of people don't. When it first came out, I actually loved it, but I was a kid. Nowadays, I can totally see how it's not the best for sure, but I definitely still like it, and not just like it because I liked it as a kid, but I just still like it because I've liked it, you know? It was very fun to watch. I remember the day I saw it for sure, and so I'll always like the movie, but overall, I really do love this figure, this set, as it is. You get a fantastic base figure with some incredible detail in a suit that's skin tight and looks fantastic, but still allows you to do basically anything you want, which is really quite incredible and unique. You get tons of accessories, plenty of hands, and amazing big display base, as well as you get a second head sculpt. This is definitely a fantastic figure. It just marks all the checks. It just marks a check in all the boxes for me. I really couldn't have asked for anything more for this figure. So overall, I am super stoked that I got it, and really happy with the figure overall. Highly recommended by me. It's a must-have in my opinion, and I really think that I might buy one of those new bases from Hot Toys. The same type of base that came with Jor-El and that's going to come with Superman and General Zod, where it has, the kind of neck piece that you can totally move and have, it clipped onto a figure and have them like flying or whatever. I think that that'll be perfect for this Spider-Man, so I think I'm actually going to buy one for this Spider-Man. But overall, really fantastic, highly recommended by me, and definitely a must-have. So thanks so much for watching, and hope you enjoyed it.